I love how we treat the Switch like it's like the god tier console, like S tier. And then we're like, the Switch 2 is absolute dog water. Me, I've played a lot of these, but a lot of these I haven't. Speaking of ones that I haven't played, Nintendo Entertainment System. That's our first one that we've got up. It's the first ever Nintendo console, guys. Where are we putting this? The Nintendo Entertainment System was the very first Nintendo console. Before then, Nintendo wasn't really a thing. That's where we got our first Mario game, our first Legend of Zelda. We got all of these first games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. People are saying to put the Nintendo Entertainment System in the F tier on YouTube. That's insanity. F tier for the Nintendo Entertainment System? What? There's no shot, bro. I say B. What do you guys, are we thinking B, guys? I never played the Nintendo Entertainment System, so I don't know exactly where to put this. I do know that it inspired a lot of the same games that we played. I mean, it's Mario. That's where we saw Mario and Legend of Zelda come out for the first time. A tier for the unks. All right. For all the unks out there, and I'm not unk, we're going to put Nintendo Entertainment System in A tier. Now we have Game & Watch handheld. I never played these either before the Game Boy, so no one really talks about it. The Game & Watch kind of gets overshadowed by the Game Boy a lot, honestly. I don't know where to put this because I never played the Game & Watch. I know who Mr. Game & Watch is. I just never played the Game & Watch. C or D? I think we're going to put it in C tier. Again, I never played. I'm just going off of you guys. This was before my time. I never played these. I can't really start having a say in these games until we get up to the later generation. The original Game Boy. The original Game Boy. Okay, you guys gotta understand. When we think Game Boy, the first thing that I think of is the original Pokemon. Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow. Absolute craziness. Like, that was when handhelds really took off. Like, who didn't have a Game Boy, right? The Game Boy is, like, when you think Nintendo handheld, like, it's the Game Boy is in that group. It's just iconic. It's iconic. For the Game Boy, I think the Game Boy is good. I'm going to put it in A because I think there's a version of the Game Boy that is better than the original. Hear me out, and we'll get there. We'll get there, okay? It's an A tier, okay? Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I did actually play the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. They had a lot more Mario games, better graphics, better games overall. We got a lot of awesome games. I kind of want to do a poll. I'm not going to lie. This one's kind of tricky. We're voting between A or S. A has 7 votes. S has 13 votes. Holy. It's close. I knew it was going to be close. This is why I wanted to do a poll. Super Nintendo Entertainment System is going in S. Now, I didn't even recognize this thing. When I saw this tier list, I was like, what the heck is this? But I searched it up. It's called, and I've never heard, genuinely the first Nintendo thing I have not heard of. It is called Virtual Boy. What the heck is a Virtual Boy? Did anyone have a Virtual Boy? I have no idea what a Virtual Boy is. Pits of Hell tier. It low-key did not launch. Vertigo Incarnate, 10 out of 10 S tier. Bro, like, I didn't even hear, I've never even heard of this thing. It's a VR that flopped. VR? There was a VR back in the 90s? What? I think we can be in agreement, chat. D tier, from what I'm hearing from you guys. But now we have the Game Boy Color. Now, from what I understand, they called it the Game Boy Color, but it was just like a hint of color, right? It wasn't like they added like dynamic color, right, to the existing Game Boy. But actually at A, nah, it was full color. Oh, okay, so it was like good, like genuine good color. S tier. Oh, yes! Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Silver. Or why did I forget about that? That's like the best Pokemon games of all time. Gold and Silver. Oh my gosh. That's like the best ever. Mario Land. What Legend of Zelda games came out on? Holy. Silver is so good. That is the best generation of Pokemon, guys. It really is. Gold and Silver is just amazing. Are we thinking S tier or A tier, guys? Because it's either A or S. Top of A. Seasons and Ages for Zelda. S tier. A. High A. Remakes are better, no cap. Ooh. He makes a good point. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, is that better than the original, chat? That's a good point. S, high A or low S. I'm thinking high A. We put it above Nintendo Entertainment System. We're gonna put Game Boy Color and yeah, high A. Now we have the Nintendo 64. Oh my gosh. I think we have to say S tier. But I will say this, not criticism, but the controller is just a little, you know, it's like the games are gas. Don't get me wrong. Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Kart 64, 007 GoldenEye, gas games. All right? Not arguing that. But the controller is just like, you know, this old dusty thing. Like, it's just very weird. Look at this. You have to like hold it down here and like control it like that. It's just very interesting. Yeah, we're going to put it S tier. We're definitely putting it S tier, and we're putting it above Super Nintendo Entertainment System. All right, now we have the Game Boy Advance. Wow. Guys, this was my childhood. I will put it in B tier because that's not the Game Boy Advance that I played with. That's not the version, and we'll get there. I added, because I added a distinction. My first ever console was this bad boy right here. The console that I fell in love with gaming with when I was little. GameCube. Absolute gas. You got Super Smash Bros. Melee, Super Mario Sunshine, Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. You got two goated Legend of Zelda games. The two of the best ever Legend of Zelda games on the GameCube. And you can play Game Boy games on it if you have the extender thing. Oh my gosh. Some of the best games that defined a generation. So much graphics power in a small little cube. How were they able to fit that in a cube? Meanwhile, you got a big old Xbox that played Halo that was like 3 or 4 times the size, but you had a small little cube that could play these games. This is my childhood, and it's going S tier. And honestly, chat, I might have to put it above 64 because personally, guys, it was my time. It was my generation. It's just so good, chat. It's so good. Game Boy Advance SP. Now, the reason I separated Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Advance SP is because if you owned a Game Boy Advance SP, you knew that the difference between this and the base version was that you had way better lighting and it was more convenient. You could flip it up like a flip phone. You did not have to, you couldn't damage the screen. The light was huge. Like, you could actually see the games that you were playing, and you didn't need that light extender accessory for the regular Game Boy Advance. It was so good. I feel like high A is fair for the Game Boy Advance SP. We're going to rank the original Nintendo DS from 2004. I think there wasn't really a difference between these two besides the design, right? Low A original and low S. I should have included the DSi. I actually should have included that one because the DSi couldn't even play Game Boy. Oh, that's another reason what made the DS so cool. You could play Game Boy Advance games on it. That's what made it amazing. You could just play your Game Boy games. You didn't even need a Game Boy anymore. I still kept my Game Boy, but you didn't even need it. The Wii. Okay. Wow. The Nintendo Wii. Nostalgia won. And I think Nintendo is very smart. They just knew the backwards compatibility thing. Like being able to play your GameCube games, it was just a game changer. It really was. So that's my argument, guys. Everyone's saying automatic S tier, all that stuff. Let's dial it down. Let's think. Okay, what memories do you have from playing Wii games on the Wii versus GameCube games on the Wii? Let's think there. Okay, let's just think real quick. Now, Wii Sports. I get it, Wii Sports, all those, because Twilight Masquerade, that came out on the GameCube. That wasn't on the Wii. Smash Brothers Brawl was good. For me personally, all my best memories with the Wii was playing GameCube games. Okay, I'm hearing the arguments for S tier, but I'm also hearing the arguments for high A tier as well. Okay, I'm gonna do a poll. I'm leaning more towards A. I feel like the majority of people are choosing between S or A. Holy! Okay, well, it's S tier. Holy mother! These people just went crazy! Okay, it's S tier. It's S tier. What the heck? Definitely S. It's a great console. Lego Batman. Okay, that sealed the deal for me. It's coming back to me now. I'm realizing, and I'm remembering how much I played the Wii. I'm just remembering. I don't know. I guess I have more memories with the GameCube, but now that I think the Wii was solid too. I just needed more of a wake-up call to how iconic the Wii was. S tier. Yeah, we're going S tier. We're going S tier. Above 64 is crazy, guys. You guys are saying this is better than Ocarina of Time? Might have to poll this again. Holy, I didn't realize the Wii was so controversial. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to poll it. It's too close to call. I feel like it's like democracy, bro. Poll it. We're gonna vote. Holy. This is the closest poll I've ever had. Holy. We are seeing a generational divide here. This is the Zoomers versus the Unks right here. This is what's going on. Holy.
There's too many games that were part of the
by
couch
2
co-op era.
votes. 54 to 52 votes. The Wii wins. Anyways, let us continue. Nintendo DS Lite. Nintendo DS Lite. Guys, this was the DS that I played with. This was the DS that I played with. I automatically think right off the top of my head, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. If as much as I love Gold and Silver, Diamond and Pearl was like amazing. I loved it so much. Yeah, I'm gonna do another poll. Pretty much gonna put it in high A though, because the votes are 54 to 30. High A wins. Wii U. Wii U. I didn't have a Wii U, so I don't really know. I don't know this one. I'm going off of you guys. Low A, high B, B or C. Oh my gosh, this is tough. So much going on here. Wii U low-key flopped at launch. Yeah, it was definitely weaker than the Wii, wasn't it? It's definitely considered not as good as the others. Okay, hear me out. Don't get mad at me. Hear me out. Breath of the Wild, but who played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U? Everyone played it on the Switch, because no one liked the console, but I feel like everyone loves the games. So I feel like B tier is fair. What's up next? Nintendo 2DS. Not the 3DS, 2DS. I didn't have a 2DS. I had a 3DS. Did anyone buy the 2DS? That's what I'm asking, bro. Because I had a 3DS. I don't know where to put this. I really don't. I have no idea where to put the 2DS. I'm just going to do a free-for-all poll. B tier. All right. Below the Wii U. Okay. All right. Nintendo 2DS. B tier below the Game Boy Advance and Wii U. All right. To the many acclaimed better version, the Nintendo 3DS. Now, I didn't play a lot of games on this, but I do remember Omega Ruby. Omega Ruby was amazing. I loved it. Now, remind me, chat, could the 3DS play Game Boy Advance games? Because that's going to impact it. That's going to impact the voting. It could not. I'm thinking A tier. Oh, but you guys think this is better than the DS Lite? You guys are saying S tier? There is no shot. What? I'll do high A. I'll do high A above the DS Lite. I'm not putting it in S tier. Okay, let's move to the next one. And we've had this one since 2016. We've had this one since 2016. The Nintendo Switch. I think it's the best-selling console of all time. I genuinely think it's... I don't know if it's the best-selling console. Let me search it up real quick. I know it's the best current-gen selling console. Best-selling console. Oh, PlayStation 2 is the best-selling console. Okay, so... But the PS2 came out back in like the Nintendo Switch is on track to be the best-selling console of all time. It hasn't outsold the PlayStation 2 yet, but it is on track to do so. Switch is low S. I think the Nintendo Switch is S tier. I'm just trying to decide where in S tier. Okay, guys, you ready for this? You ready? Remember, you can play the better 64 games if you have Nintendo Online. Guys, I kind of want to put it above 64. I'm seeing a lot of good things here. I'm seeing good on the chat. And you know what? You know what, guys? I'll give in. This A tier is looking a little too long. I think this is our tier list. Guys, where we got to put it? It's perfect. I love how we treat the Switch like it's like the god tier console, like S tier. And then we're like the Switch 2 is absolute dog water. Like, what? Guys, don't get me wrong. The prices are insane. I agree with you guys. Switch 2 is realistically as good. I think right now I'm going to put it in B tier. Hear me out, guys. The original Nintendo 64 came out in 1998 for $200. Adjusted for inflation, today, the Nintendo 64 would cost $400. Okay? Nintendo 64 Ocarina of Time released in 1998 for $60. Today, that would be $120. So, realistically, the Nintendo 64 cost $400. And The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time cost $120. And I agree with you. No, I'm seeing the comments. Wages haven't gone up, though. I agree with you guys. I agree. It was easier to afford those games back in the 90s. I agree. it's an awkward situation to grade this console, or to rate this console before it's out, I guess. I think that's a good area. I think this is good right here. Gotta be better. The Switch 2 has to be better than these for sure. There's no shot. It's not better than those. It's gotta be. It's been a pleasure. W stream, W console tier list. I will catch you guys later. You guys have a good one. See ya!